All right, I am joined by Miami Hurricanes tight ends coach Cody Woodiel.
Woodiel.
I knew there was somebody who was going to find a way to do that.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Mallory. Give me your thoughts about what it was like to coach him and how he'll do in the NFL.
Well, first off, I probably said this time and time again when I've been asked about Will, is I'd take 1,000 of them. He was a blessing. It was a blessing to be a part of his journey, and he's from everything we ask a player to do within your culture of a team, he personifies that, and is a very, very special young man. And the NFL is, I can see him taking it by storm this year because he just does everything right and is on point with everything he does. And we're looking forward to trying to fill his big shoes that he left, and it's going to be a fun time doing it. So,
what were some of his strengths? I love watching Will last year, and I thought he was going to be drafted just a little bit higher, but
I think his natural long speed that he has. He was the fastest tight end at the combine this year, which he has elite long speed. I think that's probably his dominant trait, and has a great ball skills and the ability to have the body control to make contested catches. And again, I think that's probably the thing that separated him from everybody else was he has elite speed for a 240 plus pound guy.
Okay, now we'll go on to what you're saying. You got some big shoes to fill. So give me some of the guys that could be players to watch out for this year.
You can name every single one of them, really. From Elijah Arroyo coming back this year, to Cam McCormick being added, to Jaleel he's set himself up to have a great year, and the two young guys that we got, Riley Williams and Jackson Carver, are working extremely hard every day to hit that learning curve and continue to take those steps to, be a productive teammate. And I think every one of them are setting themselves up to have a great year.
Do you find that a lot of your tight ends do an extraordinary amount of blocking?
That's part of it. They're going to ask you. We ask our guys to build a block like an offensive lineman and run routes like a receiver. So you got to be ready to mix it up in there and be a productive, guy in the front seven when it comes to handling that.
Well, being your second year, obviously, with Miami, let alone Mario Cristobal, how well have you two been able to work together, you and Mario?
Well, fortunately, about 6-7 years ago now, I was Coach Cristobal's GA when we first went to Oregon. So, like I said, I consider him to be my mentor in this industry, and the things I've learned and the teaching progressions that I have are from his foundation of how he does things. And like I said, so we kind of speak the same language now. So, like I said, it's been awesome to be a part of his journey of coming home and coming to his alma mater and the goals that we have set for ourselves. It's fun every day to be a part of.
Guys like you, to me, have aspirations to be a head coach one day, even though I know that your main focus is on here in Miami. Is that correct?
100%, yeah. The first objective and the duty that you have is to do a good job where you're at. Everything else will take care of itself in the future, and you just want to have fun and be grateful and and attack every day with a positive mindset. And I think gratitude is something I want to tell myself every day. Be grateful for the opportunity you have and go attack it every single day.
How much did you learn from departed offensive coordinator Josh Gaddis?
Oh, a lot. Coach Gaddis is one of the smartest coaches I've ever been around. And he's extremely, extremely intelligent. And obviously the success the tight ends had in the offense last year was extremely good. And he is a very extremely high-level, intelligent football coach.
Last year, the quarterbacks, they got hit pretty hard and missed some time. Give me your thoughts about what that was like last year, and then we'll talk about the quarterback room this year.
Yeah, it was obviously when Tyler got banged up a little bit, there was some adversity for the team to overcome, but you saw some really bright spots in Jakari Brown, coming in, and he's an ultimate playmaker. And you see the strides that he's taken over the last year. He has an unbelievably bright future. And now Tyler's back healthy and rolling. It's a great room, and the thing you see of that room every day, just from the outside looking in that I have, they are the biggest supporters of each other. So it's awesome to see that.
Well, you mentioned an interesting thing, Tyler Van Dyke and Jakari Brown. Mm-hmm. Those guys are very different quarterbacks. One appears to be more mobile, and the other one's more of a pocket passer. Yeah. Is that advantageous to you guys that you have two guys that are a bit different from one another?
I believe so, because it gives multiple, when people play you, it gives them multiple things to game plan for, especially those guys are in the mix, and like I said, and both of them are phenomenal, pocket passers. Obviously, Jakari is a little more advanced from the athleticism part of it, but like I said, that's just an extra tool he has in his bag, but again, like I said, to me, it gives you the advantage because you have multiple schemes you can practice, throughout the week to be ready for a game plan.
So obviously, it sounds like you could see both of them being in the game at different times, can't you?
You see with Tyler, obviously, he has a great, I guess conceptual learning because he's an older guy and stuff like that. So he has a great foundation of that. And as you see Jakari progress and get comfortable, like I said, he's a phenomenal athlete. So like I said, you want to find a way to put your best 11 guys on the field and create problems for the defense.
How would you define the Miami Hurricanes 2023 offense in general? It seems like it seems pretty balanced, and it looks, from what I've been told, this could be a much more balanced offense than we've probably seen in other years.
It's again, I think the first word comes to mind is kind of explosive. You're going to have opportunities to take shots down the field, and whether it's drop back game, play action, and like I said, we'll have our base fundamentals of what we've built in the run game to be able to control the line of scrimmage and not always be in drop back pass situations. And like I said, I think balance is a good word that you said. Like I said, it's going to be a key to what you do, because that's what you want to be. But we have the ability to, if the game calls that you got to throw drop back pass game to win the game, we have the ability to do that. If we have to close the edges off and kind of get to the ground and pound, we have the ability to do that. And that's driven by what type of players we have. It's, again, we have a very good roster that has the ability to be very flexible.
What did you learn from the spring game about the current roster?
I thought you saw a lot of bright spots. You saw some of the core nucleus of the older guys, really establish themselves. And you saw some really, really bright spots with the young guys, making plays and being in front of a live crowd for the first time, because that's always interesting to see how they handle that. And you saw the guys that, that kind of lit a spark in the crowd, and the plays they made was really fun to see. So a lot of growth. When
you came here in 2022, obviously a tough year, new coaching staff. Tell me what 2022 was like.
It's you're coming in and you're trying to build the culture, that you want, that's sustainable to win championships, and it's part of the process. You have to go through those adverse times to really lay the foundation, and for guys to connect and believe in each other, to take that next step. So that, again, it was the foundation of, that how we handled a little adversity and didn't reach the goals that we wanted. But like I said, there was a lot of productive stuff, not just the wins and losses that happened. Again, I think it goes back to, how you deal with that adversity and the team that bonded through that, and the guys that are coming back from that team, will lead us, this year.
And two more questions. How much different will 2023 be?
I'm anticipating it to be a great year, and again, every coach at this time of the year always goes out and feels really good. And the thing about it is, I believe you see the players on our team are starting to be a player-led program, and that right there, they drive the culture for us, and they uphold it. And I think that's going to be the biggest difference going into this year. You see that year two of, the time invested in people that brings that connection together, and it's going to be a great year.
I ask coaches this question all the time, and you won't be any different. Why should people come out and see the Miami Hurricanes?
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a great atmosphere in Hard Rock, and like I said, it's going to be a great show. We're going to put a good product on the field that you're going to want to be represented by. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what you get done this season, Coach. But meanwhile, thank you very much for the time. I hope you have a dynamite year. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Hey, man.